Hi, everyone. Thanks for logging on. We've got a lot to cover, but we'll give people just one more minute to get logged on, and then we'll get started. All right, it looks like most people are on, so let's start. My name is Cece Mortar. I'm the programs manager for the Steamboat Springs Chamber. I just want to start with a quick shout out to our sponsors, Mountain Valley Bank, the Employers Council, Northwest Data Services, and the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. Without them, we couldn't do this. A little bit of house cleaning. We are going to stop for questions throughout, so put your questions in the Q&A feature, and we'll ask for questions when we're ready and go from there. I want to introduce our speaker today, Molly Caniglio. Molly is the owner and founder of Digital Space Management, a digital marketing company based out of Denver. She's an expert in digital content creation and strategy and works with individuals and businesses to enhance their online presence, engage their target audience, and drive meaningful results. Thank you so much for joining us today, Molly. And with that, I'll let you kick it off.
All right. Thank you for that nice intro. I'm very excited. We're going to get going like right away because there's actually kind of a lot I want to cover today. So as she said, my name is Molly. I am the owner of Digital Space Management. I am really excited today to show you all about all things Canva, how to use it, how to capitalize on it, how to make your life easier, everything. So real quick before we get going, if somebody can't see, can they just like raise their hand in Zoom if you can't see the slides, if you can't hear me, anything like that, just to make sure we're good to go?
We're good to go.
Perfect. Excellent. So like I said, we've got a lot I want to cover today, but this is going to be a real quick on how to use Canva to elevate your business in the visual branding. Yes, we will do questions throughout, but if you think you're going to forget them, please write them down, chat them, anything like that. I want to make sure everybody feels like they got all their questions answered. So right off the top, here we go. What is Canva? So obviously at some point, everybody knows what it is, or you wouldn't be here today. But synopsis, it is a popular user-friendly online graphic tool. Basically, it turns anyone into a graphic designer. I'm not going to say that we're as good as graphic designers, but it helps you be able to take control of that part of your business, create things very quickly, change sizes, all sorts of things. So during this lesson, we're going to talk about a few of the hot-hitting things on Canva, what it can do for you, how to use it, and a few of my favorite time-saving features. I am all about efficiencies and being time conscious. So here we go. Some of the things that people love about Canva is their pre-designed templates. Now, we will talk a little bit more about that as we keep going, but keeping in mind that there are so many pre-designed templates that can help you push back a creative break. Resizing options, again, we're going to go through that real quickly. So if you have a campaign, maybe you have an event coming up, you want to resize one graphic to be your flyer, your social media post, an email, or something like that, resizing really easy. The drag and drop function is what makes people a little bit more easily to become a graphic designer. Then what some people don't realize that it has, our team members can in real time, oh, got to put an extra T in there, real time edit their documents together. So they can actually be in the document together. If you've ever used something like Google Docs or anything on that sort, this Canva will give you the ability to do similar types of things. They also have brand kits or brand hubs, and we will talk about that in a little bit, but these are just a few of the time-saving things to keep in the back of your mind on if you're thinking about, is Canva right for my business or my nonprofit? Here's a few of the things that will very easily save you time right off the bat. So you might be saying, yes, I love it. This all sounds great, Molly. Let's rock and roll. That's why I'm here. You talk about time efficiencies. Let's not waste time. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to make an account. Now you should know that there are paid versions and there are free versions. Both are absolutely amazing. So you can kind of feel it out on the free side to see what's right for you. Maybe go to the paid side if that ends up being something that you want. There are going to be a few features of Canva that are exclusive to the paid accounts. The paid accounts are $12.99 a month. So maybe think about that in terms of your business. Paid features being the brand hub. There's a few elements and graphics and videos that are going to be only available for paid features. So keep that in mind, because some of the things that we talk about today might be exclusively for the paid version, but there are still lots and lots of things. It's a very robust tool that offer on the free version. So when you're making an account, what you're going to do, very simple, go to Canva, click sign up. Something that I always like to remind people is please don't ever use a personal email account for these types of things. Please always use a general marketing account, an overall business account, something very business oriented, not so person oriented, in case somebody's sick or out or away and somebody needs to jump in and use it, or there's a transition of team members, then you still have the Canva account and all of the collateral created within the business. So just keep that in mind with all different platforms that you're using. Make sure to use a general account and not a specific person's. Then what I want you to do is go straight into, if you're using the paid version, go into the brand hub. We will talk about that, which like I said, is a paid feature, but then just practice. Practice. It's not going to be surprising at all that I made this presentation on Canva. So think about different types of things, different ways that you can use Canva and practice them. Try it out, use different types of features, have one design go terribly wrong, and then try it again and do another one. So one of the things that I'm going to want created right at the very beginning will be creating a brand kit. So you've gone through, you've made your account, you want to create a brand kit. You're probably saying, this crazy woman has said brand kit 17 times in this presentation already. I get it. It's important. What are we talking about here? So your brand kit is going to include your logos, colors, fonts, moods, images, graphics, anything like that. Well, yes, this is a paid feature. This is going to be something that's going to absolutely save you with time efficiency and taking those templates that I talked about and making them brand consistent. So real quick. So if you've got a Canva account and you're like, okay, what is this brand hub that she's talking about? When you sign into Canva, on the left side, you'll see the apps. You can see brand kits there, and then you can create a new one. Make sure you can title it your business, whatever it is. For this example, I just wrote Steamboat Chamber, and then you can create. At this point, it will populate everything for you that you could fill out to build this brand kit. Now, having all of this available, it is all in one place. You're not having to go and hunt when you want to change the colors, the logos, the fonts, anything in a template to make it consistent and feel like your business. What you want to do throughout all of your digital marketing is making sure it all feels cohesive. And one way to do that is going to be being consistent. Creating a brand hub is going to be the easiest way to do that and the most efficient way to make sure that every single thing you create feels similar enough. Even if you are in a smaller business or a nonprofit and you have multiple people that are having to help create collateral, having a brand kit will help keep it consistent. So we're going to watch this video one more time real quick, just so you can keep track of like exactly where to go to create a brand kit and a brand hub on Canva. And then we're going to do a few quick questions. And I know we're like right off the bat in this, but these are just things that I don't want to skip questions on. So again, on the left-hand side, you'll see brand kit. That's where you can go and say add new, create your business name right there. Again, paid feature, but I find that this is a huge time saver and just makes all of my businesses look much more polished if it can be consistent like this. Update your logos. You can have multiple, you might have multiple logos. You might have one that's a little bit smaller, one that's a little bit bigger. Put all of your logos in there. With your colors, there is that picker tool. I don't know if you saw that real quick. We can scoot back. There's a picker tool on the colors right here. So on this picker tool here, you can see you can pick the exact color. You can put in the code or the CMYK color to make sure that your color is exact. If you're working with a brand that you're like, I don't know what exactly this color is, you can use the picker tool and find that. Go ahead and pull through the different fonts, header fonts, body fonts, quote fonts, something like that your business might have established. The reason why I like to do photos, graphics, and icons in the brand kit is if you are working with a brand that maybe you're new to, or like I said, you have multiple people helping with, if you have photos in there that's going to be more along the lines of photos that you like to use for your business, maybe you put like 10 in there to give the vibe, the feel, whatever you want to say that makes it feel like your business, you can put those in photos. So if you have multiple different designers helping you create content, having photos for them to be able to pull from, they're like, oh, okay, I see. We're going with more of this type of a feel for our photos. I can understand that. Same with graphics or if icons. If you have a brand where you use the same icons for everything, if you have that specific icon that you want to go back and reference to every time, being able to save it is just going to save you so much time and consistency long term. So real quick, does anybody have any questions on this portion? I can't see this.
No question.
No questions. Great. Then let's just keep rocking and rolling. Okay. So when I say I want to keep you brand consistent, what that's going to do is you're going to take your brand hub. You've now created your account. You've created your brand hub. You're moving forward. You know, you need to keep everything consistent, but you might be going, hey, this design over here, it looks amazing. I love it. I love the feel of it. I want to use that. That's absolutely not a problem. I would encourage you to do that. But remember, good design matters. It's going to be what's going to distinguish you from maybe a business that maybe is struggling a little bit. It's going to be a first impression type thing. It's going to help people understand that you know what you're doing, that you bring value to the table, whatever it is that you're doing. The good design matters is something to keep in mind with all things Canva, because like I said, those templates can help push you past the creative blocks. But what you do is then you go in and take the fonts, the colors, anything like that, and make it feel like your business. So the good design matters in that you've taken a template, feels like you, and you can change it at that point. But you might be saying, okay, I got it, templates. But what you might not know is that while most of us understand that in terms of social media, Reels, TikToks, Shorts for YouTube, these are all ways to really get your message out there to a huge variety of people, but you might be stuck in like, I don't want to put my face or no one at my company or my nonprofit or anything like that. We don't want to put our face behind the video. It's just not authentic to who we are. No problem. I'm not pushing that on you. But there are also templates to help you with that. So if we're going through using templates and brandings real quick, a couple of the templates and brandings you can use for your social media is if you just go right into off the top, hit social media, pick your platform. I don't know if everyone knows this, but each social media platform does have its own sizing in terms of what is the correct size to be posting. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't post it, but there's best practices that are all just a little bit different. As you can see here, if I just go in and I search for the design sale, I found this graphic that has a new product option. And then when I went to the font, I scrolled down, I can see my brand, Digital Space Management. Those are the fonts that match my brand. All right, so I pick a font that matches my brand. Under the effects, that brown color, it's not part of my brand. So my color palette that I've already put into there, I'm going to put in the colors that match my brand and my fonts. You can go through and pick really whatever feels right to you. Obviously, if this was a post that I was going to be creating, I would need to change out the product, the words that it says, the at really great site, different things like that. But this is just an example of how you can take a social media template and make it brand consistent. Do we have any questions? Are we good to go?
There are no questions, but your video is turned off. Or not turned off, it just is black. There we go. Thanks.
Good to see everyone. Okay. So then if you're taking this product and in this post, you're seeing the new product, you see how that I could change the brand, I could change the fonts, I could change the colors, you can change the effects, all sorts of different types of things. Now, to avoid talking too fast about these types of things, this can be a part where everybody gets very lost. Okay, changing all of this can feel very overwhelming and it can feel like, I'm going to mess it up. I liked the original template, but once I made it brand consistent, I don't like it anymore. Well, that happens a lot. Feel free to go back into designs, and we're going to watch this one more time together. So if you go back into designs and you're going to social media, if once you make a design brand consistent for you, if it doesn't quite look quite right to you, you don't like the design anymore, don't feel pressured to use that specific exact design. You can go back to the templates here. I just typed in sale and I found one. This is the one where I found the new product one. That's an option of where you can do that. You can also see there's like videos that you could choose if that is more along your speed of what you want. But as long as you're using the exact right branding for your business, you can really easily see how this kind of makes everyone a real quick expert. Okay, I do see a question. Okay, it says, I had some issues when choosing a Facebook banner, for example, where it doesn't actually fit. Are there other sources for sizing? Yes. And I would always, always, always recommend that you check the actual source. So a really good example of this is I do a LinkedIn newsletter and I pick LinkedIn banner. It says it resizes it and it's not right. It cuts off some of my words, which it seems like this is probably exactly what's happening to you, cutting off part of your design or your graphic or anything like that. And then you're just struggling because you used the template that it said would fit and then it doesn't. So yes, I would always, in this example, I would go back to Facebook exactly and find what they are recommending for the exact size. Another really great example of sizing is that this perfect square, while yes, it will fit on Instagram, is not actually best practices for Instagram sizing. They actually think you should be 5x4 in terms of your design because it's going to take up more digital real estate for your audience. So easy to just resize and use the Canva sizing, absolutely not a problem to start there. But as you're going, I would definitely recommend looking at the platforms and seeing what size they recommend. And then when you're exporting it, make sure you're exporting it or sharing and downloading. And we'll talk about that too, in the format that that platform recommends. So they might recommend a PNG or a JPEG or something along those lines. So make sure you're exporting it like that. But fantastic question. All right, so then we've gone through and we've made we've used the templates, we know how to change all that stuff, but we're still going on our time efficiencies here. So one of the things that Canva does to try and help with your time efficiencies is it will help you with your social media content creation and your scheduling. I don't know if everybody is aware that it will help you with your scheduling, but you can schedule to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. It's fantastic. In terms of time efficiencies, this keeps it so you don't have to download it and then re-upload it. There are pros and cons to every platform that you're going to use for scheduling content, but I just want you to know that this is available. So when you're creating your social media, you've got your flat images, your graphics, which is what we just did, but now you're like, okay, I want to use the video templates. I want to not put my face in front of the screen. Okay, not a problem. We're going to go back to Canva, look in our templates again, and we're just going to look up Instagram Reel. Okay, so we want to use this, but again, we're saying we are not really comfortable putting our faces or we're just not really feeling it. However, we recognize that that's an important part to grow our digital branding. All right. So there's a bunch of different options for this and you can choose really whatever feels right for you. But just for speed and efficiency, I'm just going to pick this one right here. I can see it's got 3 different videos in it from the bottom. Let's go ahead and customize. Okay. I'm going to go back to my brand kit. I'm going to take this and I'm going to change the fonts, the colors. You can see that you can very easily change the words. And at that point, you can drag and drop once you've made it brand consistent to feel like you, space like you, once you have your actual correct branding and your fonts in there, you know, you might need to like tweak it around a little bit. But then another thing that it has is it has a built-in library of photos and videos. Well, since I'm going to do a reel here, I want to use a social media video. All right, I can see that that's way too long. That just made my reel way, way, way too long. So you can see also in the video editing portion of it, I'm just going to trim it on down. I'm going to make it shorter and I'm going to keep going. What's the next screen that I can see? All right, so I'm going to change everything to be more brand consistent. I'm going to go through it and make sure that this feels like me or feels like my business, my nonprofit, my brand. There are sometimes a little bit tricky places to find where the colors are. But again, this is that practice, 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 practice. If you just play around with it, eventually you'll see all the different features and you can shorten that up and make it feel like you. So if we're going through and you're making an Instagram reel, you know you need to highlight something. This is also a great opportunity to use what's called B-roll video for your business. You may have, you know, backgrounds behind the scenes. You might have, you know, how was the product shot done, different things like that. You might have that content and that collateral already, and you might be able to use your existing content. But if you don't, there is the library. But this is just a way to use that content and that collateral if you're feeling like, oh, okay, I know I need to post a reel. I know I need to make this announcement. Maybe it's a new event announcement. I don't want to do just a flat graphic. I do want to do something a little bit more fun. And I'm going to play around with this a little bit. All right, so say you've done this. Now I did leave that up, messed up on accident, and you can hit play and you can see what it would look like. This is what the whole video would look like. And you can see this took me 2 minutes maybe. But if you see that, I watched the whole video and I saw that this exact one did not drag and drop how I wanted it. I don't need a video of social media on top of someone with holding orange juice. So that's where you can see where it's like, oh, okay, now I can edit it. I can watch it through. I can see how it goes. And this entire reel in terms of creation has taken me 5 minutes or less because I used the template that was already created. I used videos that was part of the library, and then I just used my brand kit that I already made. All right, so that's easy peasy. That's how I would do that. But now I need to download it so I can upload, so I can put it on social media. As you can see here, I need to download, if it's going to be a reel, and an MP4 file. That's going to be the video file. But real quick fun thing, if you want to make a GIF with Canva, you totally can. Maybe you're going to have a fun GIF that as your business, you want to make that. But let's not go too far down the rabbit hole. I'm just going to go to the last part of this real quick, where you can see here, when you click share at the top, and then you go and you hit download. To do a TikTok or a reel or anything like that, you do have to make it a video file, which is going to be an MP4. So just know that that's an option when you're downloading things. This is where I say you need to pay attention to what file, how are you downloading it? And that's going to be a way for you to be able to download a reel, a TikTok, a story, anything like that very, very, very quickly. Because again, yes, they do have story features too that you can use. So that makes it really easy. Okay, then I see when uploading on social media, for example, Instagram, is there a best practice uploading content via phone, app, or through the computer? Honestly, if you're talking about efficiencies, I like doing it through my phone because that's where I'm fastest. I find that I can use all of the features on Instagram, particularly if you're using a reel and you want to make sure that it is made to the most like optimized way of using reel. I like using my phone best for that. But if you are someone where you're like, I am so fast on my computer, I can do everything that I needed to do on my computer, that's fine. I will just say that Instagram was definitely intentionally made as a mobile app. So that might be something that makes it end up quicker as you use that a little bit more. Okay, and then it says, can you add sound to your reel through Canva? Okay, so yes, you can. There are sounds. However, I don't like any of them. I find that they're all very generic. They don't feel very brand consistent. They're not trending. They're not anything fun. So yes, you can. However, they're going to be a little bit more bland sounds. So if you're going to use that for a Instagram, TikTok, or shorts or anything like that, I would use the audio file from your social media platform. I find that that makes it a lot easier. And it tends to go better for the algorithm for the social media platform to use their audio. Just something else to keep in mind. So that was some awesome questions on videos. Real quick before I move on, do we feel good on that? We good on the questions on that front? Okay. So I said that you can social media plan using Canva. Okay, I don't know how many people knew that this was an option. I don't know how many people are actually using it. But if we're talking time efficiencies, we need to talk about this. You can schedule your content, your designs, all of these different things specifically through Canva. Now, what that takes away is that download portion and that upload portion. Are we using the computer or our phone or anything like that? This is going to take that away. Full disclosure, this is something that I think Canva is slightly maybe going to need to level up on, because there are some features that when you schedule through, like if you're doing Instagram through the Meta Business app, that you can do that you can't do through Canva yet, but they might be getting there. But if you're just talking, I need to get a post out, here we go, you can do it this way. Okay. Oh, I see. How do you get the video file from computer to phone? That's a fantastic question. I absolutely should have answered that already. Canva has a mobile app on your phone. And what I think it's easiest is to design it in your computer and then pick up your phone, and the design will already be, because it's a cloud-based service, will already be on your Canva on your phone. If you open up your app and then download it there, that's an option. Another thing that I have done is I've texted it to myself, because I have an Apple computer. So I text it to myself. You can email it to yourself, whatever's easiest. I do think it's easiest to skip all of that and just open the Canva app and download it on my phone. That's my personal preference. Okay, can I manage multiple Facebook pages with our organization? Can I schedule all Facebook pages? Yes, you can. You can schedule multiple of them. You definitely can. Like I said, I think there are some limitations. So if you are doing multiple businesses, multiple organizations, multiple things, it might be one of those situations where Canva scheduling is not perfect for you, because you need to have more of those built-in features. But yes, to answer your question, you can have multiple accounts that you schedule through. So quick hitting answer on that. We're going to talk about that exactly. So if you're wondering how you schedule, on the left there, you go to apps and then you say content planner. As you can see here, here is the different content calendar for the months. different types of features. And here's where you can connect your different social media accounts, all of the different ones that are options. If you are a business and you're running multiple accounts, it will be connected as an agency type thing. But right here, so I'm going to go back real quick, real quick. So once we have decided that we want to post, okay, so we're going to pick the day we want to post on, we're going to schedule, we'll say the 13th, name of the title, add the description, and that is all you can do. So there's none of the other built-in, metadata or anything like that. However, at this point is when you can click your graphic and you can just click your recent templates right in there, something that you've already designed. And as you can see right there where I, doodles, pick some designs, and you can see that I have multiple accounts that I manage, and they were all right there, very easy to follow. So you could toggle through which account you want to schedule it to. But like I said, it doesn't have any of the metadata, the locations, anything like that, that some of the other platforms do have. So if you're finding speed and efficiency, that's all you care about is getting the content out, you can absolutely do it this way. Just keep in mind that there are other softwares that are also cloud-based softwares that might make that just a little bit easier. If you want to do that, you would have to download it and upload it to the new software. So kind of feel it out to see what's right for you and your business. Okay, so then, so if you're creating content, you're deciding all these things, you are stuck. You have no inspiration. There are times where I know I need to create a content calendar for a client and I've got nothing. I come to my computer, I'm ready for it, and I'm just sitting here like nothing. So something that I like to do is I like to go through the different templates, see what they have, see what other types of features that they have, what other things are going on with Canva. And then there are also a few accounts that I like to follow on social media that talk about different Canva features that are coming out, different ways to use it, different things like that. So if you are stuck with your creativity, which I mean, I've been doing this for almost 12 years, I get stuck in my creativity. So if you don't, please give me your secret sauce. But this is just one way to try and like push past that and figure out a way to get through and post within your content pillars. So since I've been doing this for so long, I do have a few favorite features, like some things that are just my favorite things about Canva. My all-time favorite thing that it does is the image background remover. Now, what this will do is it will take any image and it will take away the full background. So I can download it with a transparent background. I can upload it back on something else. I can take away the background from a logo and actually make it look sharper and cleaner, different things like that. Being able to take away the background without having to go in and individually erase. I don't know if anybody remembers Adobe Photoshop when it first came out and you had to like zoom in and erase every single part of the background. I was terrible at that. I always ended up going too far over and it was awful. So the background remover has been something that's been great for me. Being able to take a image and change its color to be brand consistent. I love it. Animations, which is what I've been using in this presentation to try and keep it spicy, keep it fun. You can put animations on any graphics or images or text like you would a PowerPoint presentation. You can do that. But if you want to download it as a video or reel or TikTok or anything like that, that's kind of fun to kind of keep things spicy. An example of an animation that you might want to use would be like the click here to enroll or click here to buy your ticket. Makes it very fun, makes it very dynamic. Transitions, again, I've been using those throughout this presentation, makes it really fun, very PowerPoint-esque type thing that you can do. And then the resizing, which we did talk about, but I like the resizing if you're going to create a whole marketing campaign. And we will talk about that in a little bit, but like I said, keep in mind, certain platforms, they're always changing, they're always adapting, and Canva might not have adapted to their new size recommendations yet. So just something to keep in mind. So then if we're going through these different things, go through, create all your stuff. Some ways to try and capitalize on the $12.99 a month, which I understand every penny counts, okay? So if you're going through and you're trying to figure out, is Canva right? Is that $12.99 right for my business? You can go through and look at the templates that are available on the free sections. You can go through and say, okay, yes, this is worth my time and my money and everything because it has all these templates for social media. Or maybe you're like, you know what, the leader of our company makes a ton of presentations and I really just like it to be a little bit more dynamic and fun. This presentation was made on Canva. I did end up changing a few things here and there, but there's also a recording option. So you can record your presentation through here. So an option you can do is if you are trying to do a tutorial for one of your clients, this is how you use this feature. This is how you do this. You can have it record your voice, the way you're speaking, your whole presentation, and you can box that all up and give it to someone as a recorded file. Very nice. And then there's also printing features. And I don't just mean you can download it and print it from your home computer, because yes, of course you can do that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I have not made a business card outside of Canva in years. There are cheaper ways to make business cards, but I design it in Canva. I send it to the Canva printer. It gives me the designs to look through. I get to pick the type of paper, everything like that. And then it's sent to me real fast. So taking that part out of it has been so nice. I also made a meal train baby shower sign up through Canva and had it printed through Canva. So that was pretty fun. But in terms of all these different types of features, if you're thinking about, is this in fact, you know, this woman is talking a million miles a minute, is this worth my money? Don't just think about it as a social media design tool. It has so many more features that if you're thinking about it, try the free features and then see what else you can't get to that's a paid feature. Printing features being one of my favorites. But okay, so we're jumping back into it. We're trying to figure out, is the $12.99 worth it for us? We've got a campaign, say we've got a new location opening, we need to make a collateral for it. Okay, here we go. We are going to create the whole campaign right from here. You can also create a whole brand designer from here. So say we're going to click on this, we've got all these different things. We're like, hey, we need this one campaign. We need a million different designs for it. You can come right here into the campaign center and pick one type of a design and just run with it. And what that makes it really nice is that you can take the design right here. This is going to be my example. We take this design for social media and we're going to say, okay, now we want to use this design for acne care. I'm going to have our leader make a presentation on it. Yes, you do need to drag and drop a little bit at this point once it's resized, but there you go. You can also go through and say, hey, I would like to make a newsletter, resize, no problem. Here we go. Again, you can see how all of this starts to feel very brand consistent because you've created a marketing collateral out of all of these different types of features. Now, if you're going to do a full marketing campaign, digital and print, you might want to talk to your printer to see if there's specific sizes or files that they need. But this is going to be a real quick hitting way that you can expand everything very fast. Okay, real quick. Oh yeah, for those of you who are nonprofits, Canva Premium is free. Yes, absolutely. Totally worth saying. Whoops. Okay. All right. But if you're starting things off, whoops, I want you to start small. I don't want you to feel like, wow, she said there were all these different things that Canva can do. This is so overwhelming for me. I don't think I can do any of this. Don't worry about it. Okay. I want you to take a step back. I want you to just create an account with a general email, please. And I want you to create your brand hub. And then I just want you to spend 5 to 10 minutes every day playing around. See what works. See what works for you. Social Sam, so it's underscore social Sam underscore is one of my favorite accounts to follow for Canva features. I follow her and I see she's always using features that either new or she's taking features that already exist, showing you how to make them for social media specifically, or email. She does a lot of email stuff on how to make it fun, how to use their features in a different type of way that you didn't expect. She walks you through it, so it's very easy to follow. So if you're looking for like, you know what, this is all very overwhelming, I need small little tips. Social Sam, she's British, I believe. She does such a wonderful job of helping people feel inspired to use Canva in different types of ways. So give her a follow in your 5 to 10 minutes every day when you're starting small, trying to figure out all the different features, see if it's right for you. Start there and then feel empowered to try different types of things. Maybe at your next meeting after you've done, a week of 5 to 10 minutes trying things out, you want to lean into the table and try something new on the next collateral piece. I don't know what it is, but there's a really good option to try and feel like, yeah, okay, I got this. I practiced at a fairly low risk situation, particularly if you're going to try the free version. But a few tips and tricks that I think you should keep in mind. I intentionally made this slide a little skewed. I don't know if anybody can tell that, but I definitely can. So if you see right here and right here, these don't line up. This doesn't line up with anything. This is overlapping. So there's a few things that I intentionally did wrong to show that there are grids that while you're dragging and dropping, it will automatically put the grids on your design so that you can see if things are lined up. you can see how they space out. It will give you, as you're moving things around, as you press and hold and move your different items around, be it text, graphics, anything like that, it will move it around for you and see what the spacing is between different items. So if you're trying to see, hey, is this even? Is this in the middle? Anything like that? The grids will make sure that your design is lined up looking tidy. The other thing that I really like to use is the toolbar to pick from different elements and images that fall within my brand mood. So maybe I have images that are within my mood board for my brand, but I'm not feeling them. Maybe I've used them too many times. I'm done. Being able to use that toolbar on the side is something that I love to be able to do. Okay, how do you add grids? Are they automatically deployed? Automatic. You don't have to worry about it, but they will not be there unless you are holding on to the item. So if you hold on when you're moving, you have to press and hold to the item. There's hair in my mouse. Oh my gosh. Press and hold onto that item, and as you're moving it up and down, moving it around, the grids will automatically show up. I think they're like a purpley blue color, so you can see them pretty easily on most designs. But yeah, they're already there, so they will help you make sure it looks sharp. So another thing that you might be saying, all right, I got it. A lot of flat graphics that we can use for Canva, not super helpful. But let's say specifically your company, your business, your nonprofit has a product. Maybe you are selling, well, for this next example, let's say water bottles. So let's go right here and let me show you how you can use smart mockups to highlight your water bottles. For this example, I'm just going to pick like a random image, but I want you to know that your image can fit into these different like picture frames that they have on different types of things. So they're called smart mockups. So anywhere that you see the green and blue like that, that's where the image will go. So for example, I'm just going to pick an image that I already have. I went to smart mockups on the left side and I'm going to adjust the image. Yeah, okay, that's fine. It looks great. I'm going to pick that image. I want it to fill it, no problem. But as we see here, it fit into the computer here. So that works if I have like, if I want to show off a new website, or if I want to like show somebody exactly where to enroll in something, or I want to show like if somebody was on a computer, this is what they would see. It's a smart mockup on something like that. So that's a way that you can use it. On the left, if you can see what almost looks like water going, that's their like loading screen. So you can see that this smart image mockup is being loaded. So another way that you can do this is this. So let's say we want someone to enroll. We've got a lead magnet of some kind. So what you should know is this image right now is in a picture frame. The one behind it where it says lead magnet. It's in a picture frame. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put my smart mockup over this design. Just as a for example, this is just to show you a few things that it can do. Well, now all of a sudden I've got my smart mockup into a design. At this point, of course, I can make it brand consistent. I can do whatever I want with it. But this is a way that you can show, again, an example would be if you're launching a new website, you want to see what that's all about, anything like that. But there's other ways to do smart mockups, and I will show you another one. But if you are doing a launch, an app launch, anything like that, there are these different images. These are picture frames under elements. There are picture frames that you can go in and actually use as a picture frame for your item. Again, if you had a picture of your new website or whatever it is, you took a screenshot, you could put it in here and it would look like it was on a computer in a space, something like that. Okay, so are the smart mockups the same as frames? I have a hard time with framing or bordering things. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. So they work in a relatively similar fashion. Frames, sometimes I find look a little bit more amateur. Like this picture right here, if you can see on the screen, looks a little bit more amateur and like it's more like a cartoony-esque computer. It doesn't look exactly like a computer in a space. Versus if you were using a smart mockup, it might look like an actual computer in the space. So in terms of like, I have a hard time with framing or bordering things. That might be like the type of image that you're using. It might not fit into that frame. Sometimes it's a little bit of an issue with borders and sizing, stuff like that. But there's another way to do smart mockups that I actually like better, that might help you a little bit in terms of your issues with bordering. So if you have an image, so in this, I just picked an enrollment image, it's just the stock image. And then I can go to smart images, which is in the apps on the left-hand side. And then I will take my image and pull it into that image. So this is hard to see on this, so let me make it just a little bit bigger here. It took my original image and it put it into it. So here we go, let's do it one more time. So I have my original image here. This is just the red enrollment thing. And we'll just say, hey, that looked fine on a phone. No big deal. That worked it. But let's see what else can we do with it. And I told you we were going to use the example of a water bottle. It will take, in terms of a smart mock-up, it will take it and wrap it around the water bottle. So as you can see, like my image is wrapped around the water bottle. So that might help you with their bordering and your framing. So this looks like that image has the water bottle has the image around it. So if you have a new product that you're doing something like that, or if, here's another great example, if you're selling t-shirts and you have the design, but maybe they're not fully printed out yet, you know what they're going to look like, but you haven't had a little cutesy tootsy model help you out with that yet. So here's how you can do it. You can take it, they took the image and they put it on the t-shirt. So the smart mockup is just another way to put it into real life. So it feels like, how would that design look in a tangible situation? You can put it on laptops. You see those are in rooms, someone actually typing. Here would be the example again, if someone, if you like, you want them to buy tickets to an event, you're trying to use this design, maybe you could design around this at this point. You can see that it shifted my image to fit what it would look like on a computer. So that's where a lot of times I think bordering comes up to a little bit of issues, because it's more of a three-dimensional, the smart mockup allows us, which is a great feature. And I absolutely love that feature, particularly for a lot of my digital content. I don't want to have to hold my phone out there and take a picture of my hand holding my phone. It ends up being too much work, but I can use these smart mockups if I want them to. One of my clients had their 50th business anniversary event. They needed people to click on the tickets to buy it. So we did a smart mock-up of where they should go. And then we used the animation of a clicker to show where to click. So it's a smart mock-up and an animation, made it really fun, had 30,000 views on that specific reel. So it was a very short amount of time, max amount of effort. It was awesome. So just another thing that you can do to use Canva to your absolute most. All right, so then when we're talking about the drag and drops, we talked about the frames a little bit and we talked about that. So the drag and drop features with elements and videos and draws and all that stuff are where you're gonna literally drag it and pull it over. Touch and pull it over. If you just touch the image, just the little thing, if you touch the image or the video, it will pull it out so that you can use it, but it will not replace the image or the video within the design. You actually have to drag it in and drop it where you want it to go. So when you are doing your drag and drop, that is where you will see the grid show up. You will see the different spacings show up. You will see all those different types of things as an option, but it's not a click and then move. I'm sure that seems very obvious, but it is something that I find actually helps. You have to actually drag it over. So when you're doing things like that, you can design like a pro. All right, so a couple of the features with printing. I said that I love the printing features. I love what it can do. So if you've got a design, you've got something you want, we'll say, hey, maybe this is something that I really love. So we'll just change the text here, make it feel like us. Again, say I love all of these different types of things, but it doesn't really feel like my brand. So I'm going to go through real quick, lickety split, less than a minute. I'm going to make this design brand consistent. All right, so I've gone into my brand hub. As you can see, I had my logo saved there. So I can put my logo on everything that I want. I can go through the different stock photos and I can very quickly make this design feel like me. Okay, so we've talked about that a few times. We're ready to go. All right, I feel ready. I've got all my stock images. I see they're dragging, dropping. You can see the grids show up. We'll just, okay. So say this is our flyer that we want to use for something. All right, so we've made this flyer. Delete that, not important. We made this flyer, made it brand consistent, put it on our logo. Everything took me very minimal amount of time. But hey, I want to do a quick little animation to show that it's fun and it's dynamic and it's great. And maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this in two different ways. I'm going to make a reel out of it. So I'm going to make a video, but then maybe I also want to use this exact design in something else. So I'm going to print my design. So at this point I can say, okay, is it a business card that I want to print it? Is it something else that I want to print? Oh yeah, okay, let's make this a business card. Okay, I like this business card. It will walk you through the printing steps so that you get exactly what you need without worry about everything else. As you can see here, let's adjust the edges for printing, as in I don't want to spend all this money to have a design printed when half of my logo is cut off. So it will walk you through step by step by step. When you do at the very bottom here, you can see do a final check. it will download your design for you, and it will put on like potential issues that it sees on the design with the print. The nice thing about that is you can decide, hey, yeah, I do want to adjust this, or maybe I don't. And a time where you might not want to adjust it is if you have like this image right here, partially off the screen. You're like, yeah, okay, I did that on purpose. I want that on purpose. So you might have somewhere it comes up with an issue where you're like, yeah, I see that that is something that's going off the screen, but I actually really like it like that, so I'm going to keep it. So in terms of you can use this to print, I'm going to go through just the end real quick. Slide you right on over. So what it'll do for you is you say, yes, okay, I do want this in whatever it is. As you can see here, I picked business card just as an option when I went to print. Easy peasy. But then here it walks you through step by step. This is my front design. This is my back design. This is the type of paper I want. This is where I can see it in a situation. As we can see here, you can put matte, flat, how many you want. And then you go through and adjust the sizes. You adjust everything at that point for the final print. Once you download the PDF and you approve it, at that point, then you can actually go through and purchase it. So you can see how easily this is to just go through and print something, for example, a business card, very quickly, very efficiently. It'll be sent to wherever you want it, no problem. And you don't have to download and upload to a printer. I am not knocking on printers because I think some printers do, honestly, some very magical work. But if you're doing things where you need things really, 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 really fast, this might be an option for, hey, I can also print something. And again, this design, when I added a little animation on it, maybe it was something that I would have ended up wanting to use as an Instagram reel. So quick examples, say I'm using this is a vertical design. I resize it for Instagram. I want to use it as a reel. Maybe it's my business card with all my information. My call to action is something like contact me for help with your social media and digital marketing efforts.
Get that.
Oh, excuse me. But I also want to print off, that is my business card. So then it'll be a vertical business card at that point. And I will have printed it off, one design, two purposes, all because of the different features of Canva. So as you can see very quickly, Canva can start to help you with a lot of different time efficiencies and parts of your business to make things really smooth. So we've been kind of answering questions here and there and all the things, but real quick, does anybody have any other questions on everything that we've talked about so far? I want to be really cognizant of everyone's time. All right. Everybody feels like an expert. That's amazing. I love that. All right. If after this presentation, you're going, hey, I do have a few questions. I'm not quite sold on everything. I thought of something later. No big deal. I am offering everybody in this session here a free 30-minute coaching session. We can talk about social media, digital marketing, Canva, anything like that. You can either email me, you can go to my website, you can do whatever you want, but I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me about Canva. I obviously love it. And please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any other questions.
Thank you, Molly. I'll say a couple closing things, and if you have any final questions, you can put them in now. But I just want to thank Molly. Your expertise is super helpful, and we appreciate it. And the 30 minutes is amazing. Thank you, everyone who joined today. I'll be sending out the session recording, which will have the videos that were on there right after this, once the recording downloads. This was the final session of our marketing series, and we're going to kick off the HR series on August 22nd with Craig Wasserman in a session on tough conversations. I did see a question come through, Molly. Oh, no, it's just a comment. Thank you. This is wonderful. Agreed. And then I want to thank our sponsors one more time, Mountain Valley Bank, the Employers Council, Northwest Data Services, and the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority. You guys have Molly's contact, and since we don't see any questions, I'll let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Molly.